Hi there, welcome back to Sage Creates. I'm Sage, and today I'm going to be going over a look back of 2024. So, looking back at my last year here in the world of fiber arts. Also, I will be working on this ear warmer here. It's in the Bernat Velvet. Kind of did a little yarn barf here, so I'll be working on this while I am chatting with you. So this year has been incredibly eventful for me in the realm of fiber arts. So I was crocheting beginning of this year, only crocheting. So first thing is I taught myself how to knit. That was, I think, the biggest thing that really happened this past year. So I have knitted a couple things now. Um, Currently, I'm just working on this ear warmer here, but I have made a cardigan. Um, I've been working on beanies. I'm working on the ribbing for that. So lots of stuff that I've been knitting. The next thing, other than knitting, that has been the biggest change for me this year would probably be this, honestly. The whole Sage Creates as a channel, as a little small business that I'm trying to start up and run. So the whole idea of it was new to me. I knew that I wanted to do some kind of small business for myself. I hadn't found my passion yet. So since I've gotten into crocheting and learned that people can make a career out of it, um, I'm curious to see how far I can go with this. Not that I'm expecting it to be a career, but I do like it. I do enjoy it. So with Sage Creates, all of the new stuff that I've done, um, firstly, starting this YouTube channel, that's new. I started specifically a TikTok for Sage Creates as well. I started an Instagram for Sage Creates so that I can post all of the stuff that I make. I hadn't had an Instagram before, so that's new for me. I have a Etsy store, so that is new. I have a couple things on there. I recently wrote my first pattern, so that is new for me. The whole process of writing down, coming up with something new, trying it out a bunch of times to make sure that the pattern actually worked. Um, so I now have the pattern for the beanies that I sell on my Etsy store as well. I had my first markets this year. That was really exciting. I did another video on that. If you look back a couple videos, you can check out how that went and my thoughts on it. Along with the market, I set up my website. So I have sagecreates.square.site, S-I-T-E, like website. I don't have it as updated just because I have my Etsy store, and that is where I've been making most of, well, where most of the purchases have been coming from, just because it's easier for people to use Etsy, there's coupons, all that kind of stuff. So aside from learning how to knit and working on color work and everything like that, let's talk about crochet and everything that I have done and learned this past year. Um, I started out just making like blankets and scarves and small things that were just one panel back and forth in single or double crochet. Um, I hadn't really done all that much. The first thing that I really made was the skull cardigan, the granny square skull cardigan. I did that around this time last year, I think. So it wasn't this year, but it was last year that I made it. I'll show you a picture of that right here. But I made that. That was really the first thing that I had made that was out of my comfort zone. So leading into this year, I was working in different colors, learning different yarn types and everything. I had no idea that there were different weights of yarns, different, the whole changing the needle size or the hook size to match gauge, to make fabric not have as many holes in it and stuff by changing the hook size that you use, the complementary hook size to yarn weight ratios. So there was a lot of stuff that I did not know when it came to crochet. Um, I have learned so much this past year. I feel like my head is just brimming to the edge with knowledge now, and I have no one to share that with. So that's kind of why I have this channel, so that I can just spill out all of the stuff that's in my brain and put it somewhere to get use. Not to say that I don't have supportive people in my life, but I can tell that they don't either A, fully understand when I talk about stuff relating to fiber arts, or B, it's just not interesting to them. And I get that. There are certain things that like my partner will talk to me about with his like game or work or something like that that I might not necessarily be the most interested in, but I listen to him anyways because I love him. Another thing that was new to me is doing tapestry crochet. Um, I made the one piece hoodie for my partner. I'll show you a picture of that right here. I did do a previous video on that if you were interested in how I made it and everything. But working with tapestry crochet is something that I had no idea about. I still feel like I don't know everything just because I've only done the one project and I am very much self-taught. So the issues that I came up with, I found solutions on my own. I didn't really find any help online when it came to that. I probably could have, probably maybe should have, but it worked out in the end and it is a wearable product now. Um, but now that I have that finished, I have this other piece, the Night Before Christmas cardigan that I'm working on. In the back of it, I'll show you a picture of that right here, of the grid. This is what it's going to look like. I am maybe 15 or 16 rows in out of about 80 something. So I am hoping to get that done before Christmas or by Christmas. That's kind of what I told the person I am hoping to have it done by. Um, I should probably be working on that instead of this beanie, or instead of this ear warmer, but I would need to do stuff on the floor, and I just don't feel like doing that right now. So here's the little handheld thing that I'm going to be working on, for now at least. That is definitely one thing that I struggle with the tapestry crochet, in the fact that I keep making larger pieces instead of doing small little squares or small little pieces of things. I've been working on the backsides of cardigans and hoodies, so it's a lot of a commitment to get into making it. Um, it also takes a certain amount of brain power, I guess, and concentration to be able to work on it, which I don't always have. I will admit that. Sometimes I just want an easy project that I don't have to focus on like this. It is just knit one, purl one, flip, knit one, purl one, flip, back and forth the whole time. I will definitely say I am really proud of myself for everything that I have learned and done this past year. Again, I have done so much. It feels like it's been such a busy year. There were lulls throughout it, but with the busy parts of things, it took over. So aside from everything that I did this past year, let me tell you everything that I purchased this past year aside from yarn. I cannot keep track of that, especially because everything that I've made I have not kept for myself. So the things that I've given away, I've used yarn for that. But the things that I bought this year, for one, I have these straight knitting needles. I purchased a set of circular needles first, and then I purchased the set. I bought them at the same time, but the circulars came in sooner, so I ended up starting and learning on those. But for certain things like this, where I don't want to finagle the wire between the two needles, I just will grab these on occasion, not every time. Another thing that I've gotten is this yarn winder. It has been super, super helpful in making these cakes. I tend to buy or sometimes at least when I'm working on certain projects and I need a specific color, I've been getting the Caron 1 pound, the big skeins, and it barfs up the yarn so easy. If you get a center pull and it's easy peasy for you, great. But then as you're going, at some point it's going to tangle on the inside and you just get a whole chunk of yarn that comes out. So I find it a lot easier to work on the cakes, especially once it gets to that point. Sometimes I'll start on it, sometimes I won't from that center pull. Otherwise, I will just cake up a couple cakes to it or do the whole thing if I'm feeling motivated. Um, but yeah, the yarn winder is a big thing. I've gotten a couple of yarn bowls as well. I have this one, which is a cat that I got from Joann's. I have in a previous video, I showed it's a bowl, ceramic black and white with some skull hands on the outside of it. So I am currently using that for my Nightmare Before Christmas project. I have that on the floor over there. Um, that one I got from Michaels. I believe it was meant to be like a candy bowl or something, but it works perfectly fine as a large yarn bowl. Other things that I've gotten myself this year, I have this neck light, which is super helpful when working with either black yarn or in lower light conditions. You just put it around your neck and it's got the light. You just tap that and you can turn the brightness up and down. You can change the light color, so more of like a white light versus a yellow light kind of situation. I love this thing. I haven't used it much lately just because I haven't been working in places that weren't my living room where I do have decent lighting. Other things that I recently purchased is the ring light that you are currently attached to. I'm using it more as a tripod than a ring light, but I do use both. Right now it's just particularly sunny outside because it's almost 11 in the morning, so I've got some nice sun coming through the windows. So I got the ring light tripod situation. I have the microphone that I purchased as well. It came in a little 2-pack. Yeah, I think other than that, it's mainly just been yarn. So yeah, that is how my past year has gone. I will probably make another video showing you the things that I've made. I know I haven't really talked about the things that I've made themselves in this video. I will make another video to show you all of the stuff that I've actually made between blankets and wearables, cardigans, all that. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like down below. If you have any suggestions for videos that I can do in the future or have any questions for me, leave a comment down below as well. In the description, I will list all of my socials. And if you would like, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to see any future videos that I do. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.